The Splatfest theme is... Spring has sprung! Worldwide Splatfest incoming! They're the blazing fast rabbits who like to run along the way. Hares! Versus the slow and steady turtles who keep their eye on the prize, tortoises. Hey, these are the creatures they had on display at the Schellendorf Institute. Yeah, the fossils of these rabbits were found along with an ancient fable. I don't remember the entire story, but doesn't the tortoise win in the end? The rabbit gets overconfident, so it takes a nap and ends up missing the race. So I mean, it's right there in the fable. Tortoise is going to win the Splatfest. You don't get it, Marina. History only exists so we can rewrite it. The question is, who would win if the tortoise and the hare had a rematch? The tortoise. Haven't you heard the phrase, history repeats itself? Nah, the hare's learned from the pain of her last defeat. She's got this on lock. You don't need strategy if you believe in yourself. Don't think, just make moves. You wanna know what I think? Determination is more important than natural talent. That's so like you, Irina. Always determined to lose. And it's so like you, Pearl. Starved for attention, yet full of yourself. Touché. What did you just... Alright, tortoises and the hares, rematch! Okay, but I'm pretty sure you just said... So there you have it, folks. Head to the signboard on the plaza and vote. Hold up, Pearl. We still got announcements to make. Oh snap, that's right. First off, this is a 48-hour Splatfest, and we've got special springtime gifts, including a new line of shoes designed by yours truly, Off the Hook. Pearl and I designed 4 pairs of shoes each. Enjoy! Kicks for days, so wear a different shoe on each foot and double your fun! That's wildly against the rules. And that's that. Head to the square and cast your vote. And after you vote, hit up the equip screen and put on your Splatfest tee. Hello, Rizagir to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Splatoon 2 Splatfest. One thing I gotta say that I greatly appreciate about these Splatfests is the fact that they reminded you to put on the Splatfest tee before the Splatfest actually starts, because not a lot of people took advantage of this towards the beginning of these Splatfests, but you're able to keep your abilities on the Splatfest team even before the Splatfest started and things like that, so you kind of got a little bit of an advantage that way. So that's pretty fun. But anyway, this is the SpringFest Hare versus Tortoise, and we're playing a port macro. Gross! This stage does look pretty nice during nighttime and things like that, but still, it's port macro. It's gross, it's smelly, and still not much funny. So the actual Splatfest itself was a 48-hour Splatfest running from April 19th of 2019 through April 21st, 2019. And, as they said during the Splatfest announcement thingy, there was some special gear that was released alongside of this Splatfest, and that's pretty cool. So you'll see a picture of that on screen, and that's going to be all fine and dandy. Also, there are Yoshi eggs in the plaza, and that was pretty fun. So this Splatfest starting date, April 19th, 2019, that actually has some pretty big significance with this channel. So, those of you who have been watching for a little while, since the beginning of this Let's Play, may remember that date as the day that episode 1 of this Let's Play started. I don't remember if that was a coincidence or not, or if I timed that to go alongside the Splatfest, but either way, it was pretty fun that the Let's Play started on the day that Splatfest happened. And that was actually one of the bigger things I was really happy with this Let's Play, because one of the ideas that I had when I was starting the first Let's Play was that I wanted Splatfest to be happening alongside the Let's Play. But unfortunately, I didn't really think about this until towards the end of the Splatfest run of the first game. Because the first one that I recorded was SpongeBob vs. Patrick, which was like the fourth to last one. So the Splatfest ended like months before the Let's Play even started. So I was really happy that with this Let's Play, we were able to play the Splatfest as the Let's Play was ongoing. So that's one thing that I was really happy about this. This Splatfest in general was pretty fun. So similar to the Splatoon Splatfest, there were some special decorations across Ecopolis that were kind of more Easter themed and things like that. So that was pretty fun. Now, one thing I really want to know is what was it like to schedule this Splatfest? Because I don't know if they scheduled this to coincide with the real world Easter, and I don't know how difficult that would actually be because I honestly don't know what the pattern is for when Easter is supposed to happen, because it always seems like it just lands on whatever day it feels like. Woo! 60.7% victory! Look at all that green! And now we're moving on to Shifty Station, and this one is cool. This is the Bridge to Tenta Switchia. I'm sure that's a book reference because that's kind of the running theme with all these Splatfests and things like that, but I don't know what the book is supposed to be because I am terrible. So, the primary gimmick with this particular Splatfest was a really interesting one. So with this Shifty Station, there was a switch in the middle of the arena, and whenever you'd activate that, a little bit of the platform would move past the glass door. And the thing about this was that whenever it goes past the glass door, whatever ink was on the ground is going to stay there forever, because there isn't really a whole lot of ways that you could go past the glass door. So I don't think doing a trick like staying in the ink as the platform goes past the door would have worked or anything like that. So it kind of reminds me of that one other Shifty Station layout with the domes, where after the domes go down, whenever ink was in there, it's going to stay that color for the rest of the Splatfest match and things like that. So like, this is one of the more interesting This is one of the more interesting Shifty Stations in my opinion, and I would have loved to have seen the music mechanic on a regular stage with like break battles and things like that, because it would have been interesting to see something like this in Splat Zones, where like after the Splat Zone gets covered in the story, it's going to stay that color for a while. Now that I say verbally, it sounds like a very broken idea, which is probably why they didn't do it. There were a couple ways that you could go through the glass door, however. So there were two weapons that you could use. The Stingray and Booyah Bombs could go through the glass door and still cover the ground in the ink. So those are the two ways that you could do this. So if you had those weapons on hand, then you had a bit of an advantage over the other team. But those weapons didn't actually affect the actual switch itself, so you still had to use like a regular weapon against those ones. So as we go through the Splatfest, one more thing that I like to mention is the actual theme itself, because this one I had a bit of a hard time trying to decide, because I love bunnies, and I love turtles, and they're both just like super fun and things like that. I think I went with Turtle for two reasons. Waifu bias because it's Marina's team, And also because when I was a little kid, I had a pet turtle, and so I think that kind of made me like turtles just a little bit more than rabbits, even though rabbits are like super adorable and fluffy and things like that. I love bunnies, they're so cute. But yeah, I had a pet turtle when I was a kid, and he was adorable, and his name was My Soup. So is it just me, or does looking at the stage from this angle, doesn't it look like a transformer? I don't even like Transformers, but that's what I always think whenever I see this. Blam! Ba-bam! Team Hare wins by a hair! Dot dot dot. Even if I prefer Marina, Pearl, I still love your taste in puns. Team Hare doesn't seem fair. Turtles need a clean pair. Hey! Classy, Pearl. So I guess in the new version of the Fable, the Hare ends up winning. Yep, it's time for a gritty reboot of the Tortoise and the Hare this summer. Dear God. The Hare had just won the race. She was taking a victory lap when suddenly... Suddenly what? Mysterious creatures emerged from the sea to threaten their peaceful village. So the Tortoise and the Hare joined forces to rescue their kidnapped friends. What? That's not a plot twist, it's a plot backside rodeo 1080. Yeah, I'm gonna opt in the movie rights, so I gotta go big to attract investors. Ooh, I need to start working on the soundtrack. You could do the cover art. Maybe take it one step at a time, Pearl. Slow and steady wins the... Oh. If you played in the Splatfest, your sea snails are waiting for you. See you next Splatfest! See, that reminded me of something funny. So, one common mistake that new game developers try to make is going super ambitious. So with things like voice acting and super impressive artwork before they have the game actually coded and things like that. And then they get into the programming work and realize just how much they actually have to program, and they end up giving up partway through. So if you're a new game developer, here's my advice. Get the game functional before you do anything fancy. And also, you don't need voice acting. 9 times out of 10, indie voice acting games aren't that great. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2 Splatfest. As we enjoy Marina and Pearl in their Octo expansion outfits. Especially Marina. Oh, she's so hot. So that's going to be it for this episode of Splatoon 2 Splatfest. In the next episode, it's going to be May 2019, as we'll be taking care of time travel versus teleportation. So thank you all so much for watching this episode, and until next time, Lily Gear to you. Oh yeah.